What's up, everyone? It's episode 44 of the fucking ridiculous podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and cut to the chase right now. If you are watching, this is a special treat for you because I now have the apparatus for the daytime use that I am supposed to be wearing in my mouth to help me not clench my teeth and also push my jaw back and try and repair some of the damage that I have been doing to myself by grinding my teeth over years and years and years and cracking teeth. So for all of you, it's not an Invisalign. It's not Invisalign. It's not braces. It's this piece that I just got it yesterday, so I'm getting used to talking with it. So yes, it sounds like I'm lisping, and I probably am. But I have to keep it in, and I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do so that maybe I don't have to wear this for the rest of my life. So moving on. Today is the quote unquote Mother's Day episode. So it's May 10th, which is a Wednesday, and it feels like it actually should be like April 28th because I don't even know where all this time went by. I feel like I just lost a week and a half and I'm not sure how to get it back or where to get it back. But regardless, this is the Mother's Day episode. And I'm going to keep this one light for sure. I could take it down and talk about how I'm sad because I don't have my mom around and I can't celebrate Mother's Day with her, but I'm not going to do that right now because you know what? I do have lots of loved ones and I'm very, very grateful for that. Quote of the week. So I'm sure a ton of people have said this, but this is my quote for the week. There are two things. Actually, there are three things because I have to make up a third as I speak right now. There are three things that we can never have enough of. Number one, hugs. Number two, love. Number three, time. So think about that as you're moving into this Mother's Day weekend and with everything going on for graduations and weddings and parties and everything that's happening. Just remember, take some time and look around at the people that you love and who love you, because those are some things, and give them a hug because those are three things that you just can't get enough of, in my opinion. So that's the quote of the week. I am giving some shout outs, and these are pretty important. Number one, parterre, and I'm slaughtering the French because I'm not even going to try and say it with this stupid mouthpiece in. But my husband and I went to celebrate our anniversary there. It's located in a very, very old Jesus, this is going to be a disaster, I can tell. Old historic hotel in Richmond, where we stayed the night of our wedding. And so we went there. The restaurant was delicious. Waitstaff was awesome. Drinks were great. I mean, start to finish, sat outside. Everything was just awesome. So if you live in Richmond, look up Parterre. It's a great, great place to go. Number two, our buddies, Eddie and Aaron. Thanks for hosting us until about 2:00 in the morning last Saturday night. And I'm so sorry. You know, we always are the last people standing. And I say that with a little bit of pride, but then also a little bit of like, God, sorry. Third shout out. This goes out to Kim Moncrief and Miracles in Motion. This organization is a dance troupe for individuals with special needs. And she is the founder, executive director, and artistic creator to the recital on Sunday. And I was blown away. I was blown away with the choreography, the dancers, the showmanship, the costumes, everything. And I just can't say enough about Kim and this amazing, amazing program. If you live in the Richmond area and you have a child, doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, and they are into dancing in the slightest bit, check this out, Miracles in Motion. Such a great organization. Can't say enough about it. What I'm loving this week. So I love meeting new people and like learning all about them and their world and like what makes them tick and why they're doing what they're doing. And I last week had coffee with the daughter of a friend of mine, and she is amazing. She was so interesting to talk to. She just had her first child about 6 months ago, and we were just kind of discussing like motherhood and what was surprising and what was different than what she expected. In her spare time, created a newsletter that goes out at 7 a.m. every Sunday morning, and it has recipes for you for the week, and even like a little shopping list so that you can figure out what's for dinner, because that is every person who has children that don't feed themselves. That's the worst question to ask someone. What's for dinner? I don't fucking know. Okay. Anyway, she gives the recipes, she gives the shopping list, and she gives like a little tidbit, very short and very to the point, but very heartfelt. And I just think it's so awesome. And so what I'm loving this week is the newsletter, Consider It Done. Thank you, Mariah, for putting that out to us. And I will put the link in my post about this, but, or you can Google Consider It Done newsletter. So I thought it would be fun to rank, or just give some ideas on the best and worst Mother's Day gifts that you could give or receive. And so I think I'll start with the worst. So the worst Mother's Day gifts that you could give to me, and I'm going to venture to say a lot of the moms out there are going to agree with this. Go like this. I'm going to go 3 to 1, 1 being the absolute worst. Okay. So the third thing that you should never, ever give to a mom, especially your own mom or the person who gave birth to your children, is equipment for an activity that you very much enjoy and really, really want them to start enjoying, so that that can ease your guilty conscience about the fact that you spend so much time enjoying said activity on your own or with your friends. So that's number 1. Worst gift. I mean, actually, it's not the worst gift. It's the third worst gift, but it's pretty fucking bad. Number 2, lingerie. You know, for me, I'm not a big lingerie person anyway. Not that anyone needed to know that, but I definitely don't want that on Mother's Day, okay? That just will put me in a mood of like, well, fuck, now I got to fit into this skimpy little see-through bullshit. Probably doesn't fit. I just think that sends it sets the tone for kind of a not motherly type of day. So there you go. That's number 2. And number 1, the absolute worst gift that you can give to a mom is nothing at all. And I think we can all agree that if your mom gave you birth, if your mom has done anything to help rear you into this world and love you, man, you got to do something. You got to do something. Okay? So that leads me over to the 3 best Mother's Day gifts. And again, this can be for your own mom, or it could be for the mother of your children. Okay? I know that extends to like so many people are moms. You've got grandmothers and aunts and everything, but these are just for like moms and people who gave birth to your own children. Okay. So again, ranked from 3 to 1. So number 3, I say, is figure out what her love language is. And that will tell you what she's going to like and enjoy. You know, look around, be a little observant. Does she constantly have laundry to do? Is the trash overflowing? Is the dishwasher overflowing? You know, those are things. Maybe she's acts of service. Maybe you get that shit done for her and she'll be so excited. Maybe she's like, oh my gosh, I really want this new pair of shoes. Go get them. Maybe she just wants to be with you and her children for a little bit of time. And so maybe it's like just a family meal where everyone's dialed in. Or maybe she just wants you to hold her hand, give her a hug, smooch it out, and just like take it from there. You get the picture on that one. And then there's another one that is going to lead me to number 1. But so figure out the love language and act on it, okay? Doesn't matter if it's not the primary one. Do something that she would want, not that you would want for her or that you would want for yourself, disguised as something for her. Number 2, time. Give that woman some time to herself, some time with her friends, some time with extended family, some time to be on the phone, some time to read, some time to sleep, some time to leave the house. Give that woman some fucking time. Because I think we can all agree that time is the one thing that we have no control over and we can never have enough of. So, time. The first and greatest gift that you can give to your mom is acknowledgement. Acknowledge all that your mom has done for you over the years, and especially the things that she is doing that nobody seems to understand how that shit gets done, but someone does it. Yeah, that's likely her. So acknowledge her. It's a hug, a card, drive around the block, a bike ride, breakfast in bed, staying away from her for, saying, hey, I'm going to leave the house because I'm going to leave you alone. Like, just acknowledge that it's Mother's Day and that you love her and she's awesome. Okay? That's the best gift. And repeatedly, there's no limit on how many times you can acknowledge it. Okay? Just, there you go. Okay. So that right there is something to go on. Addendum to that list. The number 1 gift for a certain mom would be Stanley Cup tickets to go to playoffs or the finals. Just throwing that out there. For some moms, I think that might be on her wish list. Not all of them, obviously, but you might be looking at one of them right now. Okay, so I'm going to kind of combine in the news and life updates together. Obviously, the biggest and most recent update was this ridiculous thing in my mouth. So there's more on that, and the one at night is even more ridiculous. So maybe if you're lucky, I'll take a picture of that. But I know my husband is just going to be so thrilled. I mean, it's already a sexy look anyway, but then add in my Coke bottle glasses, no makeup, hair in a messy bun, and then a new contraption that actually has a tongue depressor at night. I know. You can't hide beauty. You can't. So, other updates. The car saga has been put to bed. Taylor had a bad alternator and a bad battery, and she's now back on the road and rolling. I cleaned her out tip to toe or bumper to bumper for my older son and my younger son to drive. And so now they are on their way to school in a much better ride. Black Betty is still kicking. And I have a new to me car. Name still TBD because I'm still getting to learn this car. I will say this. I love this car, number 1. Number 2, I think that I must be of German or European kind of that way of thinking, because this car, while it is a smart car, and we all know I am stupid with the smart cars, it does understand that I am an idiot with directions and literally has the map in 2 places and talks to me and gives me lots of coaching. So that's huge, number 1. Number 2, even though I don't understand a lot of the buttons and stuff, this smart car is smart enough to know that dumb people will drive it. So it actually understands my intuitive process of that probably means this. That probably means this. So, once, twice, 3 times after I try something, I get it. So that makes me feel successful. So this car is actually giving me positive affirmations by that. Third, this car has what I have talked about previously. It literally has not only a light, but it has a sensor that comes up on the screen and says, you are running low on gas. Would you like for us to find the nearest gas station? And then it also talks to me and says, you are running low on gas, which, oh my God, like it's like the greatest gift ever. So it is a Volkswagen Atlas. I am not telling you to get one. I am just saying this is an excellent car for someone like me. In the news, emotional blackmailing. Okay, so I've been reading some articles about tipping, and people and professors are referring to it as emotional blackmailing. And I tend to agree here, because I don't know if it's just me, but the tipping like kiosk thing has gotten out of control. And I've now decided, after reading all of these things, I am going back to my original idea about tipping, having been in the service industry for many, many, many years. You tip when you feel like you have received service that is great, above average even, and you had a good experience. You tip when you have an issue and someone solves your problem quickly and kindly, and it's no sweat off their nose, and it doesn't make you feel like a dick. If you're being a dick about that situation, however, then that's on you. I will tip for somebody doing something for me, but here's what I'm not going to do. I am not going to tip at a self-checkout kiosk. I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to tip anyone, it's going to be myself for checking the stuff out so quickly, okay? Because now I feel like we've gotten into this trap where we're going to start tipping people for being kind and being nice and doing their job. And I think that's a little excessive. Now, once the robots take over and it's just people that are, serving here and there, I do think maybe then that will go a long way. But until that point, if something is done that I can do myself and I'm actually taking the burden of the work on, I'm not going to tip. I'm just not. So if you're out with me and you're like, oh my God, she didn't tip. Like, I tip generously, but I feel like we've got to come to a point where it's like, no more. I had this problem when we lived in San Francisco. There was a very large homeless population. And so I would walk from my apartment to my job, and I would run across so many different homeless people, and I would feel so bad. And so, I could go down the road and be like out all my money by the time I got to work, because I was like such a bleeding heart. And one day I went into a coffee shop and I got a coffee, and I came back out and I was kind of like putting my money in my purse or whatever. And there were these two guys. One is squatters, and one comes up and says, hey man, how's it going? What you doing? And the squatter says, just working. Well, he had a little dish out and a sign that said, please help or whatever. And I remember looking over at the person, and they were probably maybe my age, definitely in their 20s. And I thought, oh my God, if this person thinks they're working, this is their job, what the fuck? I was like, I'm actually walking to work and I'm trying to make the money. And now, wait a minute, that's not work. So I remember thinking, okay, from now on, Nicole, if someone's doing something, if they're painting, if they're playing an instrument, if they're telling jokes, if they're, just anything, I will tip for that. But that really soured me. And that's sad, because I think a lot of people probably have had that experience, and then they're shy about helping people that they really would like to help. So anyway, going back to the tipping, we don't need to tip for people being kind and just being normal human beings. We can say thank you, and we can definitely give them the attaboys, but let's just cut that shit out, okay? It's an easy way for employers to pay their employees more without them absorbing the costs. So when you're paying for something, you're going to pay on top of that. along with your tax and everything. So that's explained. So I read this article about the age when people say they start to feel old. And I am ashamed and embarrassed to admit this. But as I say, I'm a 26-year-old trapped in 40-something body. That's my way of being like, I never thought that I would be the person that would be upset about aging or getting old. And I am having a tough time with this particular year and the birthday that is coming. And so I was reading this article thinking like, I still feel like I'm so young that I'm 26. And so I was like, oh, this would be interesting to see what other people think. I learned 3 things. 1, people feel old at different times in their life. And you could even be in your 20s and just feel like you're like so old and beyond your years from the things you've experienced or just how your energy and emotionally draining things can be. So you can feel old at any age. People start to think of themselves as no longer young at like 42. And then at around 52, they start to think of themselves as old. Now, I am nowhere near that age, but I'm not old. And in my insides, I'm still like, even when I got sense shamed, I was like, wait, I feel like I'm a kid and I should be going to timeout or something. So the moral of this is, it doesn't matter what your chronological age is. It does matter what your body is trying to tell you. If it's creaky and all that, maybe you want to, I don't know, start drinking celery juice or something like that. But you are as old as you feel. And so I'm going to keep telling myself that, even though every day when I look in the mirror, it does not seem to mirror that statement. Just so I wanted people to know you're not alone. Not so deep thoughts. You know, I was thinking about the fact that now they're recommending that females get the mammogram starting at 40. And all of the people who have been screened and diagnosed and successfully treated, also unsuccessfully treated, and my heart's out to them. But it was making me think about when someone gets new boobs. And clearly, I'm not in that category right now. If they only had one boob that was affected, would you opt to just do the one and keep your other one and try and like make the other one look just like your other one? Is it like a tire situation where you never just buy one tire, you're always going to buy like 2 or 4 tires? Because my question is not about like the merits or, you know, bad things about getting boob job or new boobs. It's about how different do they feel. And I just wonder if you had one that wasn't real and one that was real, then that person could tell you like, oh, here are the differences they felt. Because if you go to both, you're not going to really remember what they felt like before. I don't know. Just curious. I would like to invent a scale that the scale, you know, now they can like scan your body fat and, you know, tell you how much sleep you're getting and all that. I would like to invent a scale that when I step on the scale, it tells me, number 1, the shoes you're wearing, if you're wearing shoes, weigh this amount. Number 2, the clothes you're wearing, if you're wearing clothes, weigh this amount. Your hair weighs this amount. And then I want that scale, based on my mood, to lie to me. So if I get on that scale and I know I have been working like really hard to really track my food and exercise and be really, really good, I'm going to go ahead and need that scale to reflect what I am hoping I will see, which is even just the slightest decrease in weight. Even if it's not true, I need that because otherwise, that's like the scale saying, you're doing it. It works. Keep going, girl. You've got this. Otherwise, you know, everyone's like, oh, muscle weighs more than fat and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter if the scale is going up and I just need it. I need to see it going down. So let's work on that because I do think that that would have an improvemental factor in my overall being when you start the morning, because that's always the time you weigh yourself. God, that's like the lightest you're ever going to be, you know? So if anyone knows of that scale, though, let me know ASAP. Mother's Day is coming up. I was at my medication specialist yesterday, and she is recommending that I get on a different medicine, which I was like, okay, that's great. She's thinking that that might help, you know, maybe like the jaw clenching as a side effect or something. So I was like, okay, I'm open to that. So she's telling me the doses of this particular medicine. And, you know, normally if you don't know anything about medicine, like normally they come in increments of 10 or 5 or 50 or 100, but that's like typically how they are prescribed. Well, this particular medication she's prescribing me comes in the following doses: 174 milligrams, 348 milligrams, and 522 milligrams. I don't understand the rhyme or reason. I asked her about it. She said she had no idea. I find this to be just mind-boggling, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if the manufacturers are doing that to like separate this particular medication from others, and then they're like, oh, because it's such a wonky dose, like everyone's going to remember the name. Remember my name. I don't know. Anyway, those were just some things on my mind. In the meantime, have a great week. Remember, it's all going to be fine. It's okay if it doesn't get done. It's okay if you aren't the perfect person that you think you should be. You're doing great, and it's all going to be fine. Okay. Have a good Mother's Day to all you moms out there.